Hello guys, in this video I'm going to attempt to repair this Swatch Irony. I got this from a local website and the seller was not too correct about it. It said it is working, but maybe you can see the second hand right there, actually not working. It has some positions from time to time when it just sticks and stays there. I tried putting in a new battery. It does exactly 100% the same. So the movement clearly has an issue inside this watch. And it's not only that one, it's actually losing time. So it's not keeping correct time. I need to find a way to open it. As it's a Swatch Irony, you can clearly see you cannot open it from the back. So I have the idea that maybe this front bezel can be lifted up from here somehow. If not, I'm going to break this glass, which is already cracked, as you may be able to see in this area here. So if I break it, it's not really that bad because it's already broken. So yeah, let's try and see if we can open it and do something good to it. I don't know. Okay, so a knife, pretty bad one as you can see, and hammer actually starting to do the good thing here. As you can see, it is opening up. So I was right, this thing, it's not from the other aluminium part, it's actually just pressed in. So hopefully we can get this thing open. I'm not really 100% sure that all ironies are like this, but this one, it seems to be helping me. The bezel is off. This thing looks dirty as hell. So now I'm going to try and take out the glass again with the knife slowly from the edge. Hopefully I will not damage it even more, but if I do, well, it is what it is. Also the glass is starting to lift. I had to scratch a notch in it, so I had somewhere to insert this into and lever on the edge like this, so I can start to lift it and then continue to lift it slowly around the perimeter. Don't force only one edge out. Although you can find a glass like this, someone in Germany is selling it on eBay for about, I don't know, under $10, maybe $10 delivered, at least in Europe. So yeah, even if you break this glass, it's not really that bad. You can find a replacement, but you can take it out without breaking it. Okay, so these are the parts. You can open it with some things around it. It is a bit glued all around, so you have to be pretty careful, but you can open it. Now the problem is how to remove this thing, because this watch was never meant to be open, so I have to investigate. I put back the glass just to protect the movement a bit, and I took this thing out just by putting the knife under it and making a counterlever with the case and pushing on it while trying to wiggle it around, actually pulling on it or pushing, how you want to say it, and it popped out in the end. But I have no idea if this will ever stay in its correct position, but it doesn't really seem to be broken. So if the movement isn't broken, maybe I'm lucky, I don't know, but There was no other way around. I've searched a bit online and nothing can be done. These things were made to be thrown away when they don't work anymore. Okay, so this thing is opened up. As you can see, even the crown went back in and it's not coming out, and it's actually moving, so nothing broke inside here, but this thing doesn't have any screws. So if I open it up, probably it has to be glued back together. And I'm not really sure I can open this thing up and still put it back together. So I might even try to put movement from a crappy watch, but this movement still works from a cheap crappy watch. But the Swatch, no, clearly doesn't work anymore. Of course, the date will not work, sub dials will not work, but you know me, I don't throw anything away. So for most people, you can replace this in some ironies. You can replace the movement if you have a good one. You can replace the crown, and this can actually be polished if you don't have a new one. I have another video for polishing this thing. But for me, in this video, I will try to go even further than this and change the movement with something that was never meant to be inside this thing. So let's see how that goes. The movement is opened up. I broke off the top part on each of these plastic, I don't know, pins. And then just pried the movement apart really slow. Be really careful with these tiny coils. If you break a wire, you are done. They are that thin that I don't think it's possible to solder them. Actually, not with a standard soldering iron. And yeah, I get to see some movements in here, so I'm going to go even lower than this and maybe see the fault. I don't really know. I'm just trying here. I'm so deep inside this movement that I can't even believe it. The dial is also out. You can see it has some plastic cogs, or how they are called. Nothing seems to be physically damaged. The only thing that I can remember is the date was not changing properly on this thing. So I'm thinking that maybe the stock date uh, didn't allow this movement to do its thing. So most likely I'm going to completely remove the date part of this whole thing. So it will not have a date anymore, but hopefully give it a chance to work. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just guessing. Date wheel is out, and I'm going to remove the part of this mechanism that was responsible with the movement of the date, and this will be probably just glued in place, always showing 1st of a month. And yeah, I'm also going to oil this thing. I don't know if it's good for the plastic. I have no clue. When I think it will help, I will oil it. I have some watch oil, not a high quality one, but who knows. Okay, I think the stock date mechanism damaged this watch. As you can see, these two tiny wheels, where they are at their closest, had some bent teeth, and I straightened them up as best as I could, and hopefully they will start working, but who knows for how long and if. So next I'm going to try and put this thing back together and see how that goes. This is the watch oil that I'm going to use when putting this thing back together, and I'm going to put just with the tip of this thing, it is pretty small, I'm going to put just tiny amounts of oil, only where I think it will help, and I will try to keep minimum contact between oil and plastic. So yeah, again, I don't know, I'm guessing right here. Next, I took out two of the rotors. One is that I already put back in, and the other one is right here. That tiny plastic thing right there is what actually creates the movement. It's so small. I don't know if you can see it. It has two tips, and those turn this wheel. So I took the one that wasn't working. I don't know if that was the problem, but I decided to replace it with one that I knew it was working. So I'm trying to, I don't know, take care of everything right here and give it the best chance to work again. This side is finished. As you can see, I cut the date, so one will be visible always. Glued this plate in place with beads of glue right where I broke those plastic tiny clips or whatever they were. Put everything back up to this height on this side, and yeah, next I'm going to continue with that part and put some more glue. I'm starting to put the pointers back in. Glued the dial in place. Glued the back of this thing in place. And the second I have all the pointers in, I'm going to put in the battery and let this thing run for, I don't know, at least 12 hours and see if it keeps track of time, because if not, it's not worth it to clean it and put it back together. I will leave it like this until I hopefully find a bad watch but with a good movement. Okay, this thing seems to be running. I have no clue if it will run okay for a longer time or just for a few minutes. I honestly don't know, but for the moment it seems to be running. Of course it's not, as you can see, the pointers are not in the correct position. I didn't reset it because you have to reset it after you move the pointers, but yeah, I set the time. This is the time after 12 at night, and I will leave it working until I come back tomorrow from work. And if it keeps good time, clean the case and put this thing back in. I don't know, did I fix a swatch that wasn't even meant to be opened up? Hopefully yes. A few minutes in and still keeping perfect time. Yay! But let's wait until tomorrow. Okay guys, this is the next day. I just came home from work and this thing is still running perfectly. So I actually managed to repair a swatch that normally most people would not even open. I don't really know if the problem was the stuck date mechanism that actually got the two wheels damaged, or this motor was worn and the fact that I replaced it with this one, I think, fixed it. I don't know. The important thing is that this works perfectly now, and I'm going to start cleaning everything up. I'm actually going to polish this thing, but again I have another video where I show you how to polish it and put everything back together. I fixed the swatch. So let's do this. Everything is clean. This is polished now, and the movement is ready to go in. I took out the crown once again, and hopefully all goes well. Movement is in, crown is in, and it all seems okay. Now let's put the rest back together. The glass, or actually plastic, popped right back in, and I'm really happy with the result. Of course it still has the crack, I cannot fix that, and a bigger scratch in here, but this is not a new watch. But now hopefully it's a working watch. And it's closed. This was the hardest thing to put back on this bezel, because it's somewhat elastic, and it when you press it on one side it jumps out on the other side. Really hard to put in. I tried with this thing to beat it into submission slowly on the edges, no luck. With this thing again, no luck. With my fingers until they hurt a lot, nothing worked. Then in the end, I decided to push it in as much as I can, and just on one single side where it doesn't want to go in, I actually used this thing to grab onto the watch from the underside and push on the edge with it, crimping it in place, and it popped in. So yeah, I made some tiny scratches on it, but it was the only way I could put it in. So anyway, this has lots of scratches, not really important. Now let's put in the battery. Okay, so this thing seems to be working. Sadly I have a bad reflection, let me try from this angle. The only thing that's not working, maybe you can see, I'm in the first position, the date adjusts, but this date is fixed now, and that one doesn't move. I think it should move. I've seen all others move, but that one seems to be just wiggling in the same position. So yeah, that one is gone, and probably that is the one that was here. So I'm really glad that I got the idea to change them. As you can see, this one is going perfectly, and I'm going to make sure, did I pass 12? Oh crap, I passed 12. I'm going to make sure that it gets to 12 and stays there, because this is not going to be used ever as a chronograph. That one is working, so the hour is working. That one I will put in a somewhat similar position with that one, so they point towards each other. And come on, get out. As you can see, we can move the hands. Really hard to do this. Actually, this whole video was filmed with my mobile phone, because I wasn't really sure if I can open this thing and fix it, so I didn't use my camera. So sorry for the bad image. But yeah, this thing is 100%, actually not quite 100% working, but it was not working at all when I started. So it is working as a watch at this point, so that is way more than I expected I will be able to do. So yeah, what can I say? That's about it. Just one thing, some people suggest on the internet, after you remove this bezel, you can try to put some compressed air through this hole after you remove the crown, and maybe this will pop out. But maybe you will crack it with the compressed air, so who knows, you can try it. And yeah, this has been it, guys, for this video. Thanks for watching. Like, dislike, subscribe, check out my other videos, and see you again in the next one. Bye.